Let's hit it.
We're back on another episode with the F.L.O.E podcast. I'm Sham. This is Adric.
I know the vibes, man.
You already know who we are, but now you don't know who this guest is, though.
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Who
Our
is it?
one, the only,
Talk to me.
Temi Abiodun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Temi, introduce yourself, man.
Oh,
Don't be scared.
my bad. So, my name is Temi Abiodun. I don't know which one I'm supposed to be looking at, but I'm a posse scholar along with my fellow posse scholars right here, future leader of excellence. I'm the #1 fan of the show. Watch every episode. So, yeah. That's all I got.
And that is a fact, though, because whenever I post it on my Instagram and I say, have you watched it yet? Or I be like, I'm about to. I see his name. I'm about to. First one.
Always.
Yeah. But
Hold on, one question, though. Who are you guys talking to? It's us three.
right, but at the same time, you gotta talk to the viewers too, because we know we got.
It's not us three.
We know we got the viewers out here watching.
All right,
Yeah,
so
four people.
Everyone just make direct eye contact. They already probably clicked out of the video. Never mind. All right.
But
So
no.
let's get right into it. Temi,
right.
did you have anything else to introduce yourself with? Otherwise,
Nah.
all right.
That's all I got.
All right, so everybody already know, but when we always bring a guest on the show, we always start the day off with a starter question, just to get your juices flowing, get your thoughts
I
together.
do know that.
And it prepares you for what's to come in the episode.
Got you.
So Sham is here with the starter question. He about to ask you that right now.
All right. So get ready for this.
I'm ready.
Okay? So, imagine yourself stranded in a remote island.
Okay.
There's a forest on that island,
Okay.
a rainforest, beautiful, luscious green,
Lovely.
animals running around and everything.
Okay.
Now, your objective is, in order to survive, you have to cook yourself something.
Oh my God.
But everything that you need is in that forest. Whatever you need, you just need to find it, get it, harvest it, whatever the case may be. What are you cooking, and how are you going to go about cooking it?
And we need details too. don't give us like no straightforward answer.
I really hate y'all. Hold on.
And tell me, you can't eat no cereal because it ain't none.
Let's be realistic. Now. Hold on. I'm stranded. I'm stranded. It's got to be leaves in the forest. The leaves got to be nutritious. Whatever leaf is nutritious, I'm going to eat that. I don't really need to cook. What do I need to cook? You all think I'm going to kill an animal? I'm not doing all that. I'm going to just cut the leaf, eat the leaf, and live my life. Or fish. I feel like it's not that hard to cook fish. We're stranded, so it's not no seasoning, so I can't mess that
I
up.
got a question though.
What's your
You
question?
just say you ain't gonna kill no animal. What's the fish?
Fish don't count.
Huh?
Fish don't count.
Why don't it count?
Because
That's not really an animal. It's like a,
What?
it's like a,
I have some weird input on this. I know I'm not in this episode, but I got weird input. Like in Japan and Buddhism, you're not allowed to eat animals, right?
Uh-huh.
You know about this?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, say it.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry, but if y'all hear a voice in the background, that's our new hired cameraman that we just got. He
no.
can be on the
Bring
voice.
the cameraman over. Bring
Get a
the
mic.
cameraman
Where's the
over.
mic? There's another mic over there, right?
Bring the cameraman over. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Introduce yourself while I set this up.
Yeah, I'm the cameraman. It's my first time. My name's Raphael. What's the point if I don't have a mic?
You do have a mic.
It's all good.
Yeah, so in Japan they could eat fish in Buddhism because they're
What did I say?
Huh?
I said, what did I say? Fish doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut him off though.
You know about eucalyptus?
What is that?
Eucalyptus stick?
Mint. I missed it.
No, don't worry about it. All right. Anyway, that's my contribution, guys. I don't really do much.
The
stuff.
viewers
Just,
going crazy
in the
now.
background for this episode. I'm just doing stuff on my computer. I'm trying to set stuff up for the semester.
All right.
All right, but aside from
I'll be here. I'll be here when I want to. Sorry, guys.
It's his first day. It's his first day. So
That's what I said.
Don't mind
This is
him.
not a
It's his
good
day.
first
He good.
episode for me.
all right, but you know one thing I'll say here is that this was a perfect
Salmon.
wasted opportunity of quoting Nemo. Fish are friends, not food. But
No.
no one.
Not for me.
Okay.
Maybe for Nemo.
Anyway, back to your survival
to my-
situation. You're almost dead. What are you cooking?
Worst comes to worst, I'm going in the water. I'm getting a fish. I'm gonna start a fire or whatever. I don't even know how to do that. Y'all are asking a question like I'm a survival expert. Realistically, I'm dying, regardless.
Dang, so you just gonna kill yourself up like that?
I mean, I'm gonna try. Like, okay, I'll try to start a fire, but after like the 5th day, what am I really doing?
So you gonna give up?
What can I really do?
What do you mean? What
Die
you
happy or die trying?
So you're telling me
I don't know.
thousands of years of human evolution, and we started from cavemen.
That ain't happening
We
to me.
figured out how to create a fire out of nothing. You're telling me you can't survive.
Let's talk about that though. It wasn't the first caveman that figured out a fire. It was like the 500 caveman. So maybe generations after, they'll know how to do a fire, but not me. I'm not built for the woods. To make the fish.
Well, yeah, but the objective was, or the question specifically
Is
was,
what do I
you
cook?
had to cook something.
You had to
What would
cook
you
something.
cook?
I can't make a fire.
Like everything is in that forest. Your ingredients.
It is what it is.
All right. I mean,
Can you cook?
Can I? Yes.
What can you cook?
I could cook, I can make oats. If I can make noodles,
What kind of noodles?
potatoes. What kind of noodles?
Yeah.
Ramen,
Gotcha.
spaghetti.
Gotcha.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Macaroni, that's not really noodles, but I'll throw that in there. Mac and cheese, I could do that.
You can do that.
But on the stove, not baking. I can't do all that with the
Kill an animal? Like a pig? Like you think if you found
Yes.
kill it?
He asked, do I think I could kill an animal? Absolutely. I can definitely kill an animal. I'm African. I've killed animals. It's part of the thing, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
well, let's speak a bit about that. Your African background. What
I am African, yes. I am African.
Yeah, just give us a little background on that.
So I was born, raised in Nigeria for 8 years, and then we moved over here for education, all that. I lived in Lagos, which is the biggest city in Nigeria, but for most of it, it's kind of like living in like downtown New York. I guess it's not really like New York City, but it's just like a section of it. So yeah, that's kind of where we live. Yeah. And came over here, live in Chesterfield now. Oh, I'm giving out my whole location. Never mind.
Oh, we're gonna bleep that out.
Never mind.
No, keep going. We'll bleep it out.
No, but I came over here. Been living here for like 9 years now, so officially I've passed my time in Nigeria. Kind of sad, but in my heart, I'ma always be a Nigerian boy. Naija for life, always. That's that.
Okay.
Tell me,
Yep.
who's coming to get you?
Who is coming to get me?
Yeah.
For what?
Because you just said you was giving out your whole location. So you said, never
Oh, hold
mind.
on,
You
hold
act like
on.
people
Let's
out
act
to
like
get
this
you.
episode's not gonna blow up and it's gonna be the biggest episode ever.
I mean, but who's out to get you?
The people watching,
It's not like you gave
Bro.
them your address.
watch. Chesterfield is not that big. You can zone in and figure it out.
I mean, there's multiple zones in Chesterfield.
Y'all can
Like,
figure it out.
There's the Manchester
It's like you
area.
want them
there's
to do
the-
that.
I'm just doing what I be seeing on YouTube videos, guys. Don't even worry about it. We good. I still don't even know what camera to look at.
Well,
I'm gonna drink
bro,
my
You
juice.
talking to us?
It's us. It's us three, bro. There's no cameras. I mean, just say what's up to
Yeah.
the viewers and then be like,
All right,
Now
okay.
You just talking
Okay.
to us now.
Okay, I'm drinking juice. It's okay. All right. What's the next question? Let's get this.
it's an interview now. All right, are you nervous? That's the next
Yeah,
question.
'cause you seem
Nah, I'm not nervous at all.
Not.
I'm not nervous at all, guys.
Okay.
I'm good. Everything's good.
All right, so again, going back to the your experience, like you said, so you've killed a couple of animals.
Yeah.
What were some animals that you've hunted?
Hunted. That's a strong word. I can't say I hunted any animal in my life.
Sometimes-
What had happened was a chicken. I almost said a kitchen. I definitely killed a chicken. You know what? I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. I've not my hands killed a chicken.
Mhm.
I've been participating in the killing of animals for a long time. Goats. Killed a bunch of goats. I didn't do it, but I held the legs down.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Little Nigeria, my uncle cracked the chicken's neck. The chicken was still running around. Terrified me. I can't mess with chickens. I don't like birds. So a chicken, let's throw that out the window. I'm not messing with chickens, but I'll definitely be there to hold down a goat leg. In Nigeria, there's something called Ilea. They kill big rams, like huge bulls. No, I said ram. I meant a bull. Like they kill huge bulls. They cut his head open. I'm like 5 years old watching this. So yeah, animal death is not really crazy for me.
Wait, so you said you snapped the chicken neck and the chicken was still moving?
Yeah. You know how chickens are, bro. Where you going, Sham? Get back in the conversation.
That's wild though. I ain't gonna lie. I like
Get back in the conversation. Look, bro, he snapped the chicken's neck. Usually during Christmas, what we do is like, in our house we had like a balcony, so we get like the Christmas chickens and we put them in the balcony for like a week. We feed them, we do whatever,
Yeah.
and then it was doo-doo everywhere when that was happening. But then for Christmas we kill the chickens. So my uncle was the one that did it that year, and he like snapped the neck. The chicken did not care about that. He was still going. And he let it, I guess he like dropped it or something, but the chicken got up, started running around. Terrified me. So chickens is not for me.
Okay.
I eat it though, but you know.
Yeah, the chicken is great.
Yeah.
Love it. Season real good. I'm gonna eat it.
I'll season it for you. Help y'all
Okay.
out with that. Jesus.
Excuse me for the little outburst. I just wasn't expecting.
I'm just telling y'all about my life.
Now that chicken story is crazy though, like, cause I'm trying to picture it, and I can picture it.
It was a bucket. He was like, he snapped it over a bucket. I guess like he was about to cut the neck open, whatever. But I guess the chicken fell out of his hand. And we had like like a compound? So the chicken was just running all around. And I was little. I saw it happen and I freaked out. That's not what's supposed to happen when an animal dies, you know?
Yeah, no, chickens. I'm against that too. It's just like we were once. I mean, back. I'm from Afghanistan, so we have a big family there. One house, multiple. I would say like families living in there, but so they were cutting open a chicken, taking out the heart, the organs, everything. Seeing that, have you seen a chicken's heart?
No.
It's black, like dark black. It just looks weird. And it's like this small too.
Facts.
Like everything else was just so disgusting, grimy. You know, it was.
Dude, the goat, the smell of the inside of a goat is horrendous. Like actually, like petrifying, bro. Like, cause you gotta burn it. It's like a whole process, but like cutting it open, getting out the insides. My dad was the one that always did it, but it's literally like doo doo plus like grass plus like inside body smell. It was just, and it's strong. You can't get away from it. Showering, you gotta shower like 5 times for real. But yeah.
I mean, on another note, this episode is gonna have to be higher than PG, but
Dope. Oh, okay.
make this R-rated maybe.
It's like your age restricted.
Yeah. But YouTube, we're just talking about culture here, okay? Nothing else.
If it gets age restricted, it's racist.
But I mean, how's the when did you come to the U.S. from Nigeria?
I don't remember the year. But I was 8 years old.
What was the transition like?
Transition was rough. America and Africa. There was a lot of bullying, a lot of let me think of a good. What's the funniest one I heard? Somebody was like, "You watch Lion King in your backyard." That killed me. Don't laugh.
That's not funny. Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not know that. It's just how he's saying it. It's getting me.
It was a lot, and all the mud hut jokes, all that. You swim here? Come on. It was a lot of bro. It was a lot. It was a lot of jokes.
Don't
But
cancel me. Don't cancel me. Look, it's just how he said it. I'm not laughing at him.
No, it's not even that. It's just like unexpected. It's just
nah,
throwing it
'cause
out there, bro.
that's really what I was getting hit with
First time
at like
hearing these.
10 years old, 9 years old, 8 years old. And so at first it was just kind of like, okay, I'll just be a in the background type of person. It's like, whatever. But then I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, everybody's just like trying to be funny so they could get friends, right? So I was like, I'll be funny too. So that's what I just started doing. Like, I was just like, the laugh with the jokes, give jokes back type of person. So that's kind of what the vibe was on that. And I try not to take it too much to heart because at the end of the day, we all just kids. Like, it is what it is.
Like, I don't want to ask this question because, you know, I took the class at Africana Studies, and we talked about accents and language and stuff like that. But when you got here, did you have, like, a strong accent?
Yeah, definitely. I've talked to a couple of my friends from, like, I got here when I was in 5th grade. So I talked to a couple of my friends about, like, how I was back then, and they said, like, oh, you were super rude and, like, your accent was so strong. And then my cousins who just came over here, when they came over here, I remember thinking, like, yo, why are they so rude? Like, but I guess that's just how it is in Nigeria. Like, that's just the demeanor that they have. And, well, not that Nigerians are rude, but, you know, that's just, like, the demeanor they have. So,
like, rude as in, like, the things you said to them?
Yeah. Just like very straightforward, not like beating around the bush. But you know, I had a strong accent, of course, because I was just coming from over there.
Yeah.
And when I'm at home, still have the accent. Like, I just talk, and people think I do it consciously, like, oh, you're trying to hide your accent. But like when I'm around certain people, like naturally, I'll just change how I talk. So.
No, that's actually very interesting because I mean, there's me personally too. That happens to me, but in a different way. I mean, not in a different way. I mean, the better way to explain it is, in a sense that I've grown up around very different communities, right? Like multiple different communities for a couple of years. So every time I move around, I adapt to that, and their lingo, the attitude, things like that.
Right.
And then now, if I hang out with certain people, that side sort of just comes up out of nowhere. When I don't even think about it, it just comes out.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting, and honestly, it could be relatable to a lot of people too. But in a sense, how did you, like, how are you shifting that though, with new people that you meet, or how did you shift that back then? Like, how did you come from being overly direct to now?
I think in elementary school, it was easier. Elementary school is like, kids are more curious, so it's not necessarily from a negative place. It's just like, oh, like, this guy sounds different, or this guy looks, I don't know. This guy looks different. So, like, elementary school is easier. Middle school is rough, because that's when kids is demons. But so during that time, that's when I started being like, okay, I'm going to just chill out. It wasn't so much like I needed to be out there. I was just in the background. Somebody's making fun of me, they're going out their way to make fun of me. Like, I'm not even talking to them. But like I'd say during like midway through 7th grade and 8th grade, that's when I was just like, okay, I've kind of like read the environment.
Yeah.
It wasn't it wasn't natural. It wasn't like it was natural. It wasn't like I was doing it on purpose. But after some time, it's just like, okay, these people do. A really big one, I think I've talked to y'all about this too, is crossing your legs. In Nigeria, it's not that wild to cross your legs. Like, as a guy.
You talking about like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but in Nigeria, people be crossing their legs. My dad does it, like, it doesn't matter. But I came here, and I think it was like 6th grade. It was like, yo, why are you doing that? And it was getting on me for it. So I was like, okay, well, that's something I'm not gonna do. It's just like learning the culture of where you're at the time, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing to me, but yeah.
But were you open to your parents about the experiences that you went through?
Not really. No, not at all, actually.
Why is that?
Because I didn't think it was they could help, and I didn't think it would be there to be any point to it. I remember, say like 8th grade, I almost got in a fight with somebody because he was joking on me about being African, but then he went crazy about it. He grabbed my water bottle, threw it in the trash can. I was like, yo, that's crazy. No way you just did that. So I got up, I was like, bro, pick up my water bottle out of the trash can and put it back on my desk. And he didn't want to do it. So then as class ended, what does this have to do with what we're talking about?
What made him do it though?
Bro, because the class was laughing. You know, like, you getting riled up.
So
I'm not like a super defensive person. I'm not gonna like spaz out and do nothing to like defend myself, because I try to take things not too seriously. But that, I was like, yo, you're wilding out.
I'm saying, like, what made him pick up your water bottle and just throw it in the trash?
I don't know, bro.
So, was he saying something back, or was he just like joking you, and then he just say, no, I'm just gonna grab your water bottle, throw it in the trash?
The devil entered that man. I don't know what happened to him. he was just like, this is the move to make right now. And I was like, that's not the move to make. That is incorrect. But nah, I forgot the question y'all asked me, honestly. I don't even remember. Why didn't I tell my parents? Yeah, because I didn't think they could help. Like, in a scenario like that, my dad he wouldn't have been on my side for that. He would have, like, gone against me and be like, yo, why are you doing all this? You know, you're supposed to be in school to be paying attention. If they're saying something, like, tell the teachers, like, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not really beneficial, especially for me at that age.
So what do you think about those parents? And I'm not pointing anyone out here, but like, what do you think about those parents who tell their kids, or say their kid goes to them and says, "Oh, I'm getting bullied," or such and such saying something about me, and their parents say, "Okay, you know, swing at them, or
Swing
do
at
this
them?
and this." Like, what do you think about that? Should your parents have said something similar, or do you think?
Absolutely not. I think, in my opinion, I think that's bad parenting. I think that
Wait. So you think like if a child like somebody putting their hands like another child putting
Hands
their
is
hand on
different.
child, 'cause that's what you're talking about. Like
okay,
the parents who be like, if the child hits you, hit them back.
okay. My dad was never. My dad was like, if a child hits you, like, don't do nothing, like, because he's very much about school. Like,
Yeah.
don't get suspended. Don't get. One time, my brother had gotten a fight at school, and he had got suspended, but he tried to hide it as long as possible from my dad. He was coming up with all types of crazy excuses, but nah, they found out and they was on his ass. So, am I allowed to cuss? Blur that out. Just cut this part out. But they were on him. So, yeah. What was I saying?
Get in a fight, your parents.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't think that's... If it's hands, if somebody hits you, I think you should be able to hit them back just to defend yourself. Don't go over the board with it. Don't start actively fighting them. Just, like, defend yourself.
I mean, but you know, you can't just say don't just actively do it because you know, as soon as you put your hands like on somebody and then they do it
Adrenaline
back to
kicks
you,
in.
it's at that point you're gonna
Back
see
and
that.
forth.
Yeah, it's gonna go back and forth. You know, everybody because you know I feel like I don't really know if this is American culture, but you know, just everybody like to get the last something. We always try to get that one up on somebody. So
Right.
it's gonna obviously as soon as you hit somebody, they're gonna hit you back. So it's gonna keep going back and forth until you got somebody that end up breaking it up or it's just done.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think as long as the goal is defend yourself, don't initiate the fighting.
Yeah.
Don't continue the fighting longer than it has to continue. But if it's words, yeah, definitely not. You can thug that out. As much as it does hurt, and it does hurt, but there's violence isn't an answer for that. I don't think you could do anything with that.
So what do you feel like is a good tip or a way where somebody who less like words like hurt them or end up defeating them, like what is like some tips and tricks on how to really not let that affect you or, you know, pretty much I guess cope with it in a way?
I kind of got to think about that a little bit. The first answer that came to my head is like study your environment. It's not most times, and what I noticed like going through that, and it didn't stop in middle school. Like it kept going through high school, but because I learned how to do it, it didn't really affect me. But like learn your environment, see why they're doing it. Do they really care about hurting your feelings, or are they doing it because of the class is laughing at it? Okay, if they're doing it because the class is laughing at it, then it's not too much about you. They could do this to somebody else. You're just the one that has the most jokes to make about them.
Yeah.
Then what is the jokes they're making about? That's where things get touchy, because if it's, oh, you're African, well, you can't change that you're African.
Yeah.
Like that's a part of you. That's your identity. So honestly, all of these, what I'm saying are just words. Like in the moment, it's gonna hurt. Like it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's kind of part of life. Like these things are gonna happen. You have to study your environment, see why they're doing it, see what they're joking about, see if it's worth changing. Honestly, this is a strong take. I'm looking at the wrong people. This is a strong take, but I think bullying ain't that bad. I think that there are some things for it, like society, that like you might need to get bullied about. just to like figure out how to cope in society. But it's up to you to see, is this so important to who I am that I
Like
don't
what,
change
though?
it?
Give us an example of something that you feel like
Well, now I can't
see it
say
bullied
anything
about.
because like, oh, what I get bullied about?
Or like, just give an example of that somebody said to you or something like that.
I'll use crossing my legs. That's like a alright example. So if somebody says like, oh, you're crossing your legs, that looks weird. Next thing for me is, okay, how important is it to my identity that I cross my legs? Does it change who I am if I don't cross my legs? No. Okay, well, then I just stop crossing my legs because that's what the environment is like. This is what is acceptable, and I think that's a realistic way of looking at it. There are some things that are very important to people's character that if you make fun of it, that's when it starts to hurt them because like, this is who I am. I can't change that.
Right.
So you essentially have to like grow up and gain that like mental fortitude that like, I'm not gonna change it. This is who I am. And a lot of times what happens is people get bullied about these things and then in the moment they change it, but as they grow up they realize I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love that. So that's what they continue to do as they grow up. But, you know, I think that's just life. Like,
No, I mean, I would say I agree with that too. I mean, there are some things that when you get bullied about that can actually help you in your growth. Because a lot of people, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the phrase that whenever someone jokes about you or whatever it is, it's something in their own life that they're projecting out onto you. And I think that takes realization after a certain amount of time. Because in the moment, like in middle school, like I'd wear, like my dad would get me shoes from where he works, and they're like comfortable shoes. Like I'm telling you, the best comfortable shoes, but they're no names. Like there's no brand, unbranded. And then going to middle school, you know how it is. People come in with Jordans, with Nike, with Adidas, things like that. And I'm here wearing Dr. Comforts. Like,
Is that actually the name?
yeah.
Oh,
Dr. Comforts.
It's like they're always telling other people about, oh, I spent $400 on these, I did this and this, and I'm like, okay, my shoes are worth the same if you look them up, but they just don't look, you know, they don't have that name that you know of. And so that back then, I mean, it kind of hurt. There was like a little cord snap, you know. But aside from that, I mean, as I grew up, I just realized, one, I mean, who spends that much on shoes? Two,
Show them the shoes. Show them the shoes.
right there. Put them down.
I think that's time for me to go.
They're so wasteful with their money. It's
Exactly.
All right.
But I mean, aside from that, like name brands now, it just doesn't matter anymore. But, you know, it's just live your life frugally or unfrugally, whatever you do. If you have the money, sure, spend $400. I don't care.
That's what it is, though.
Yeah.
Like, now, if you want to say, bro, my feet hurt sometimes when I'm wearing these name brand shoes, I want to wear Dr. Comforts.
Exactly.
Nobody can tell you not to because, like, you've gotten that, like, mental understanding that, like, I don't really need to do. And same thing, people that bully people, as they grow up, they're not really bullying people anymore. Like,
Exactly.
So I think it's just a stage of life.
Too, at the same time, shoes that, like, especially in, like, the shoe industry, you got shoes that became a trend and people actually started wearing them. For example, the F.L.O.E shoes, like the bulky ones. And then you got New Balance too, like
New Balance.
the ones that look like it's like the running shoe style ones, or what they call granddad shoes. You know, like that's becoming a trend, and more people are starting to wear it.
Right.
But you know, you still got some who be like, I'm not wearing that.
I used to have rainbow Skechers in middle school.
Oh, sketchy.
I'm not wearing rainbow Skechers now because
Ain't gonna lie,
that's crazy.
For a long time, I wanted like the light up shoes.
Yeah, I did too.
I was so excited.
I won't go wear them, but I wanted them in my mind. Like I want them.
Yeah, but
You know, when I got those and ones from Walmart, I got so excited. Like I got roasted the next day, but those and ones, man, made me feel special. I'm telling you, they were cheap too. It was perfect.
The M1 shorts used to be lit too. I had a lot of pairs of them, all colors.
I ain't even.
But I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just some things that you grow into and grow out of.
Yeah, and that's life. I don't look back at any of that and like feel sad. Sometimes I talk to people about it and they're like, no, like like, oh, that was crazy. That's so racist. Why would anybody say that? Blah 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 blah. And it's like, that's what happens. Like,
especially here though, or just anywhere. It's like if you coming from a place where it's not the norm or what people consider the norm, then they're gonna look at you different. They're gonna make comments about it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I was talking to about this, but we had gotten to like the portrayal of Africa in America, and like that's very negative. Like mud huts, that's all they got over there. It's just starving children.
You gotta think too. That's what the media portrays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what they're putting out there. So for little kids, that's all they know, and I wouldn't say like it's on the media to do better. That's it. I wouldn't say it's on the media to do better. I mean, I guess it is on the media to do better, but it's kind of on it. I don't like putting the blame on other people. I like putting the responsibility on myself. Like as an African, as Africa as a whole, as Nigeria as a whole, what can we do to make sure that little kids are saying, oh yeah, I know a Nigerian person that is this and this and this. I listen to Wizkid, I listen to Thames. Like, there's no way they were in mud huts and doing like stuff like that. So like, kind of put ourselves out there so that the stigma around us isn't reliant on somebody else fixing it. It's based on us, like doing it. I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Is that like white savior stuff? Sorry, I had to like walk away halfway through that. But like, I think, is that kind of what you're getting at?
No, not necessarily. White savior stuff, I never really had too much of a problem with that. I don't know. White savior stuff is, well, I guess I can explain it, I guess, but white savior is in like white people going to Africa and fixing it. I mean more like the portrayal of Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that is white savior.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, feed this kid for like blah, 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 99 cents a day. I guess it is. But the media, there's no benefit for the media to fix that. Because they've been doing it like that for a reason, because it works. And like, I don't know like the underlying reason like to keep Africa down. I don't know any of that. But I think it's just up to us. Like, as Africans, as Nigerians, as whatever, we need to make sure that when people think about us, it's positive, like it's correct. It's not whatever anybody else is saying.
And, I mean, there has already been some improvement. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been seeing articles and videos
Absolutely.
on people in Africa, even Nigeria specifically too, where they've been made improvements. They made like cars out of trash.
Bro.
They've been making environmental friendly coal instead. They've been making bricks out of what was it? I think it was like after a harvest, they used like plant waste
Wow.
and made burnable coal instead of.
I always say I think Nigerians are the smartest people on this planet. Not ashamed, but like, dude, literally 20-year-old kids scammed VCU for like, I don't know how much money, like almost $500,000.
Well, when?
Something like that. I don't know. Y'all could look it up, but literally 20-year-old kids.
It was like one of those phishing emails.
Yes.
Really?
How does a school with literally cybersecurity professors get scammed like that? So I think that we're so smart, but the leadership is what ruins it. Like, there's so much corruption and all this stuff, but like, just based on knowledge, like, it's some incredible stuff that Nigerians are just capable of doing. But you know,
it's all about resilience as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you come from, like, well, how do I put this? If you come from places where you probably don't have much, the resilience you gain from that, the amount of determination could get you literally anywhere. Especially with Nigerians, any other places, or say, you know, low income families in other neighborhoods, right? Third world countries. It's all just
right.
that resilience literally gets you anywhere. Like you've made it to William and Mary now.
Yeah.
I mean, would you have expected that like 10 years
Definitely
before?
not. I did not know where this was.
It's just, you know, I think
She
that's
would
a
be
gift.
both.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was
Ain't
school.
gonna
I
lie.
just-
Like, I heard about it, but I just heard of the name.
I
I didn't
never
know
heard of
nothing about William Mary. I just knew about William Mary was a college.
I was gonna go to VCU until I got posse. I was like, I know VCU. That's like the only school I knew. But yeah.
Were your parents proud when you got into William and Mary?
Oh my God. I feel like well, I guess we're getting into that section now, but I feel like after all this stuff that's like happened in my life, after all the stuff that's happened in their life, and like that was me kind of repaying them a small bit, like showing them it wasn't a waste. So like I think I cried when I got a scholarship because I was like, dude, I feel like I'm actually doing something. Because getting straight A's is nice for like short little bursts of energy, but like saving them huge amounts of money is something else that's just like it really is a blessing because like I don't know, there's no other way that I could have wished it could have went but that. So yeah, loved it.
You feel like, I know you said you repay them back, but do you feel like you owe them that based off?
Yes. I definitely think I owe them that. My parents have done so much. Like literally in my shoes making that decision, and I know so many parents make that decision. Like immigrant parents, even like low income family parents, like so many parents make that decision. That's like my child over my life, you know? And I think that is I talked about this with a couple of people a couple of days ago. Go ahead.
I think I messed up my question.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that was the question I had, but at the same time, I feel like the question that I wanted to ask was, do you feel like getting into William Mary is something that you had to do?
No. I didn't think it was something I had to do, but I knew, well,
or just going to college in general is something that you had to do, not just
Oh,
specifically
yeah.
William, but going to
Maybe
college.
specifically scholarships. For like
Scholarships.
Scholarships.
Okay, so that's something that they've always put on me, right? Like, get a scholarship. Get a scholarship. I remember in middle school, I got this offer, but it was like one of those like little kids things.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah, and I got it, and I showed my dad. I was so proud. I was like, dude, you're not gonna believe this. I got a scholarship. He was like, he I'm sure he knew what it was, but he wanted to make me feel good about it. So he was like hyping me up too. But it's always been in the conversation, like since we came here. It's been like he was like talking crazy about what a scholarship was. If you get a scholarship, you can go anywhere. Like you can do anything. So it's always been in the conversation, and so I always knew it was something that they wanted.
Yeah.
Right. So because of, and it is out of love, but in a way it's out of obligation, but it is mostly out of love. Because of what they've done for me, because of everything they sacrificed, I was like, I need, this is a personal decision, I need to do something back for them, right? In my whole life. Huh?
Are they educated?
Yes, so they both went to university in Nigeria, but then they came over here and that basically got scrapped, which really sucked.
Like the degree didn't carry
The
over?
degree didn't carry over. So my mom right now, she's in school to be a nurse. She's almost done, yeah. But she's in school to be a nurse, RN. And my dad's just working right now. But yeah, so I don't know. I just felt like it was something I had to do for them. And that's a life decision as a whole. Like, my life has to give back to them. That's my personal decision that I've made. Yeah.
Well, it seems like a really positive relationship because I think you can have that kind of obligation thing. It can like weigh you down.
Yeah.
Also, your parents sound like good people,
Yeah.
which is probably part of that. I think it's interesting. There's like stuff you like have to do. Mm-hmm. Like for a scholarship, I don't know if that's something you like needed to even like come to William Mary or like. There's some things that are like necessary, or some things that's like an obligation makes it necessary.
I definitely needed that. Man, this school is hard to get into. I need to get into Virginia Tech, but
We just said we didn't even know what this game was.
but nah, there's a negative side to this. It's not all positive, and I want to help my parents. There is a side of like killing myself in school just because like I need to bring back good grades, and like that's when this conversation really started. Was like last semester was rough and it was hard, and that's basically what William Mary is like. It's a hard school, so just struggling through all that and just feeling like, dang, I have to tell my parents that like I did bad in this class. It's calc. It's calc. But I have to tell my parents that I did bad in this class.
Right now. Like, what, 3 videos, 4 videos we've been talking
Yeah,
about?
y'all
calc?
probably heard.
Don't come to William and Mary and take calc. Don't do it.
Get those AP credits out of the way.
Exactly.
Specifically, BC. AP
And
BC.
look,
get that out of the way.
I promise you it's easier than whatever they got going on.
It is. If I could go back in time now and take the exam in high school,
Yep.
I would have just taken it in high
I was
school.
enrolled in the class and I was like, it's too hard. I dropped out. I would have stayed in so fast. But even if I didn't take the exam, at least I would have known something about calc and then came
The thing
here.
is, I was in the class staying in the whole year. I did well in calc in high school. As soon as I got here,
take the
everything just went down here. But
Jesus.
I feel what you're saying though when you're saying having to tell your parents that you're not doing a good job. Like, I mean, for me, my parents they only did some high school, so me alone graduating high school was a huge step, and then me going to college, that was a bigger step, plus the whole scholarship thing and them not having to pay for my education where I'm here for free. So that was just, like you said, that was a blessing alone. So, but at the same time, it's like when you are in a situation like this and you given like this big opportunity and you see the downside of it, like fell in the class or something like that, and it's like, dang, like how do I tell them that I'm failing when they pretty much not doing nothing but boosting you up all the time, saying my son got this scholarship and he's at William Mary and stuff like that, but whole time you failing. So I understand like that weight that you'll probably put on yourself and that pressure that you put on yourself, but at the same time I always think like, and I always got to get a reminder that they proud of me regardless of, they proud of the fact that I'm still trying and I'm not giving up and walking away from the situation rather than like saying that, oh, I'm failing, I'm not going to do this no more.
This is making me hella emotional. This is like, I didn't know that the podcast was like this. Is it always like this?
No, it gets like this.
I think I forgot exactly what you just said, but there was a part of that I clicked with.
Well,
My
I
brain's
think
not working.
this may be what you're thinking, but I wanted to ask, because you mentioned your parents are proud of you no matter what, right?
That's what.
In what ways do your parents show you guys that they're proud of you? Do they at all, at least?
Okay, so what I had gotten mixed up in my brain when I wanted to tell my parents that I was struggling was that I thought as long as I'm doing good, they're proud of me. As long as I'm getting A's, because this isn't bragging, but like through high school, through middle school, whatever, it's been good grades. And even when it was bad grades, me and my brothers and sisters, we'd link up and throw away them report cards immediately. Immediately. So even when we was like getting C minimum, but like even when we was getting that, we throw it away. So it was
I can do that,
bro.
that.
What happened? We would all go, did your report card come in? Did your report card come in? And then we all like get together. So my parents didn't know any of us had their report cards.
See, you
Don't watch
lucky.
that.
My mom, she knew the schedule when report cards came out. So my brother, he
Shoot.
was always the first one to come home. So his would already be on the table. But I was good though, because I had good grades.
Yeah.
So I'll be ready for this.
Exactly.
Hey, take this.
That was lucky me, so I'd be like, I'm ready. And then somebody come to me like, bro, no, we're not showing up. I'd be like, dang. But no, I thought that as long as I was doing good, they're proud of me. But then after I told them that I was like struggling, my mom specifically, because my dad wasn't talking, my mom specifically was like, you tried your best? I was like, yes. I was staying up studying all night. And she was like, you were praying? I was like, yes, Mom, I was praying. And then she was like going through everything with me. And I was like, basically she saw like there wasn't anything I did wrong, I could say. And then she was like, well, that's how it is sometimes. Like, because she's doing school right now too. But she was like, I'm telling you, like, there's some classes that's like so difficult and that's just life. So she just kind of reassured me. And in that moment, and even on the ride back, I think one of the breaks, on the ride back, my dad had this whole conversation with me, super long conversation, because it was like an hour, 30-minute long drive. And we were just talking the whole way back about just like life as a whole and like how what he's done, like as a parent, has affected us and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just started to kind of understand like where they were coming from. And that's why I said it's not all positive. Growing up, I was mad at my parents a lot. But obviously I can't show that because immigrant parents gotta respect them. But growing up, I was mad at my parents, my brother, like the way they treated my brother, like all this stuff. I was just super angry at it. But then during that conversation back, I was just like, at the end of the day, they're people too.
Yeah.
They want the best for their children. That's why they've done all this. They don't want to regret what they've done, right? And what my dad was telling me was like, it doesn't matter what y'all do. I have like we're all Christians, so he was like, I have faith that no matter what y'all gonna do, you're gonna be the best at it. And some people could see that wrongly too, like, oh, I gotta be the best at it. But he was basically telling me like, all this pressure that we put on y'all to be like doctor, engineer, all this stuff, like, we believe that as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna be the best at it. Do what you want, you got this, basically. So yeah, no. Over the years, you just start to understand your parents better. But yeah, it's not all. Was it peaches and sunshine? Sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, it's not all sunshine and
It's not all
rainbows.
peaches and cream.
I've heard that peaches and
I've
cream.
never heard that.
I don't know. It's not all nice. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's good. But
Marshmallows and gumdrops? I don't even know.
Was it,
Don't worry about that one.
what was the lemon one?
marshmallows are good.
I think there's a lemon one, isn't there? Lemon lime.
When
something
life
lemon?
gives you lemon?
No.
You make lemonade. That's what I heard.
All right.
Never mind, never mind. I'm just trying to get some inclusion in here, but never mind. Anyway, but no, the
Gumdrops.
huh?
Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to remember from Michelle. Don't worry about it. I'm in my own world.
But I agree with the biggest thing that really resonated with me there with what you said is that growing up, I mean, you start to understand your parents more, and I think as you grow up too, your parents start to, I wouldn't say like realize like the things that they've said and done should have done differently, but as you grow up and once you've grown up, they start to understand that okay, now you're adult, maybe now like like your dad did, he started telling you the reasoning behind everything, right, and explaining that to you. So now you have your own idea, and you can start acting on that too.
Right.
And now, I was leading this into something, but when your dad gave you that, when you guys had that conversation, did your perspective change in a way where, okay, now that I understand what they've done, why they've done it, and what they expect of me in a sense, what is your perspective now on that after that conversation? Do you think everything they did was helpful to you? Should they have changed anything?
I think that parenting is very hard. I think inevitably you're going to make mistakes. I think
Indeed.
there's too much room to make mistakes.
That's just life.
Like
in general.
that's just life. And so when I look back at like how my parents raised us and what they told us and all this stuff, dang it, I forgot your question. What was your question?
Did your perspective change?
Oh,
in
my
terms of-
perspective. Back then, it was more the negative side of having the obligation, right? Like, it's like, ooh, I don't want to do this, but I know I have to because they're my parent. I got to respect them.
Yeah.
Like, I used to think they were selfish. I used to be like, why do they want me to be a doctor? What, so they can go brag to all their African friends about it? Like, I used to think like that, right? And low-key, you know, still, they still gonna brag about it. But during that conversation, I was just like, it turned so much into like doing it out of love. I was just like, dude, if I did this for my parents, like, y'all, a little spiel on my parents, right? So my dad came from a rich family in Nigeria, and then his father had an accident, and all the money went away, completely gone, right? And so I probably can't say that part. I'll tell y'all off camera. But all the money is gone, and now he's the eldest of his family, or his side of his family. So he had to basically work. My dad, bricklayer, running from school back to home to go check on his now disabled father, right? So all of this stuff, right, happened. My dad built himself up from that to having enough money to come to the States, which is not like a small thing in Nigeria. And then my mom, same thing. My mom didn't come from as rich of a family, right? She was a little bit more lower class, like a lot more lower class, but same thing, worked their way up. Sorry. Worked their way up. Worked their way up to having enough money to come to the States. Come to the States, and we have nothing now. We had just built a house in Nigeria, actually. So it was like a 2-week decision to come to the States. We didn't have time to like plan everything. My uncle had told us he got us a visa. And so
You
just
remember
had to,
this? Like, how old were you?
I was 8 years old, but I didn't know any of this while I was 8.
Yeah.
I was just so excited. I was like, yeah, we're going to America. And plus in Nigeria, they be beating kids in schools. So I was just happy to be out of that. I was like, because the teacher I had next, oh my God, bro, I used to hear cries from her room.
Okay,
So I was just like,
I want to clarify one thing too,
Okay.
especially in third world countries, when you hear teachers beating kids in schools, don't think too much of that, because yes, that happens, but it's not to the point of concern.
yes,
Maybe
it's just,
sometimes, but I
it-
just don't want to.
sometimes it is, but it's not, no fists.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
fists is like crossing the line.
There's like the rulers
Yeah,
to the
the
hand. things
I
like
used to
that,
get
but-
rulers to my, like,
Knuckles.
yes, bro, that joint used to
So
hurt.
no belts. There's rulers.
Huh?
There's rulers.
No, there's, well, it depends what teachers, like, some people are just wild. Like, it depends what school you go to.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah,
like,
I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah,
yeah, no, you're fine. So, like, they worked their way up. We had just built the house. We were doing good, right? And then zero from scratch. Come to the States, had to live with my uncle, right? And he has his own family, so you can already imagine how that is where we were living all together as one family, right? And so now we're at a level where we're living comfortably, we're working good. Like, there's so much sacrifice that's happened. Like, my mom worked at Amazon for so long. Amazon is not good. Amazon is not good. So it's just like, there's so much sacrifice that's happened. And it's just like, what are they asking of me? To bring home an A, to study overnight, to try my hardest.
yeah.
And it's only gonna benefit me. Like, at the end of the day, if I become a doctor, they're gonna die. And I'm gonna be a doctor.
Oh.
Like, no, that's what I mean though. Like, they just wanna see me successful.
Right.
That's all it is.
Isn't that the craziest thing about parents? Like, it
Like,
really is all for.
it's
like
so
making me,
weird.
like, remember
Yeah,
that.
no.
It's so weird, but it's such a like,
Very selfless.
so I think that it's out of love now, not so much out of like, oh, I have to do it. I do feel like I have to do it, but it's because I want to do it.
And that was kind of like when we had our conversation. That was kind of like when we had our conversation about it, like the. Sorry, y'all, but yo, the conversation we had the other day about this whole topic that we're talking about. It's pretty much more so not saying that you have to do it, but saying that you're going to do it and that you want to do it because they've done so much for you. So you feel in your heart that it's right to, give it back. But that's only by choice instead of by that's priority and responsibility. Because, like you say, they just want to see you happy. They want you to do what's best for you and want to see you at the top and to remain at the top.
Right.
And it's not that. And to be honest, even going back to the whole pressure thing that we always talk about, it's not even more so pressure from our parents. It's pressure that we put on ourselves because we get that. We think that we have to do this because this is what my parents want us to do. But at the same time, our parents just want to see us, like we always say, they want to see us happy. They want us to see us smile. They want us to see us successful. So I just got like you. I forgot what I was talking about.
I'm surprised it's not happened more times.
Exactly.
It always happens to me.
Oh, what was I talking about?
They want to see us successful.
I mean, it was a good point. You kind of made a point there.
Yeah, I feel like I got across what I wanted to say, but I just forgot what I was saying.
I wanted to add on to that, but see, now you guys forgetting things. Now you're rubbing off on me now too. Oh my God.
No.
There's too much going on.
What?
They can't
This is just like a random question, but like,
Yeah,
what side was your uncle on? Was it your dad's brother or was it your mom's?
My mom's brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of my dad's family is still. Oh, we can talk about this too. I got to bring my family over here. Like, that's another kind of pressure thing.
Yeah.
But
Like you personally?
for me personally, but like also like even now, like my dad just texted me. I got to like help him fill out some stuff
I
to
think
like
that was
see
his
something.
question. Like you personally, like, do you have to do that?
Oh yes, I personally. Well, not just me, but like also I'm the one that's like.
Like, do you think you're gonna, do you think your relatives are gonna be staying at your place in 3 or 4 years or something? I don't know if you've like thought about that before. I don't want to like cause anxiety.
No.
Okay.
You're fine. I definitely do. There's the same way that my life could have been, and seeing Nigeria is wild now. Like people are getting killed for no reason. It's just like insanity over there. So that's like that could have been me. And I have family that's going through that. I have family that can't go out at night past a certain time. I have family that can't cross some roads. I have family that can't like. There's a lot of stipulations that they're managing life, I guess is a good way to say it. So I feel like as somebody that's benefited from a family member helping me out, I should also help out. And this is, once again, it's not necessarily obligation, but just being a good person, like being a good human being. That's the right thing to do, in my mind, I guess.
Your parents did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, guys.
And I mean, I think another big thing that stems from too is, I mean, I think in American culture, and if I get this wrong, I mean, of course, this is just from the way
I'm
I
about
see
to
it.
agree with you so heavy.
Because in what I've seen a lot, especially, is that once parents get older, they're always in a nursing home or a separate house somewhere with
so bad.
a nurse or something else, right?
Yeah.
But in immigrant families or from third world countries, we grow up, we take care of our parents, in the same house. So,
I got, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's like the worst part about America. Like I went to Europe this summer, and like most of my family's like more European, I'd say.
Yeah.
And like we're like intergenerational households where it's like the grandma, even like nephews, nieces, cousins, all living in the same place. That's I think how like humans were meant to be. Like you have these big ass houses in America, and you just lose people. Like people move all over the place. That's gonna happen, but like. Our cities are spread out. Our people are spread out. People just like don't
Connect.
Like my dad was working with this guy at work, and he was like, "Oh, my brother, he like lost his house in a flood, and he like lost his job, and he's like, I don't want to help him out though, because he's just like some guy." And I was like, "What the fuck are you on? Like,
bro,
what is happening to you?"
I
people
literally heard a story. Not a story. I know this person. I'm just gonna say it's a story.
What's his name? What's his name?
Yeah.
No, we'll leave it out.
I'm not saying that. But that like
We'll talk about that
literally, literally, their son was homeless.
Okay.
Left the son out in the streets, right? Okay, cool. Maybe the son's bad for your family. This person literally died on the streets. They found him dead on the streets.
God.
I'm hearing that and I'm just thinking, as a parent, that's your fault. You killed him. I don't care. Like in my brain, that's automatically what I'm thinking. Like, as a family, right? And the same way you said, like in Afghanistan, there's like you have a lot of families together. Same way in Nigeria, we had a house in Shogunle, and that place is called Abiodun. It's like Abiodun Street because that's where my grandpa still had that money. But so we have a huge house there, and literally like all our family members just live there together. Family, nieces, nephews, cousins, sometimes family friends that we just call uncles. Like it's just like all together, and those are like some of the best memories in Nigeria. Where like even like my grandma's burial, everybody came to the house. Well, everybody that wasn't already there came to the house, had a party till like 3, and then my mom made me go home, but the party was still going on. But like the connectivity is so important. You cannot leave family out to just be, I don't know, doing whatever.
I think like I don't know if you're gonna say something.
I would. You go first.
Okay, thank you. I think like in America, like Republicans a lot talk about like, oh, we're losing like American values. We're losing like community.
Yeah.
And like in a weird way, not in the same way as them. I actually agree with that. Like I think we like people aren't nice to each other here. Like sometimes they are. Like you'll hear people in this. Well, I don't want to say the South. I don't want to say the South. Let's not get into that. But just like, I don't know, something's missing, and I think it's maybe because just of like cars, and you drive around all the time. You don't have to like look at poor people. Live out the city, come in the city for work, go out in like a big house where like no one's like near you. You don't have to like learn to interact with people.
Possibility.
I feel like it's that the whole American thing, land of opportunity, and how the American culture, we see that, and how they see people from different countries come here because they want an opportunity and stuff like that. So we got this notion that it's all these opportunities for somebody to succeed. There's no way that person should be homeless, or there's no way that person should be struggling because all these opportunities to just go do it, go make money or something like that. And we don't really think like how somebody is feeling mentally, or what they're going through mentally or emotionally or physically. And we just see it as like that's on them because a decision that they made is the reason why they're in this situation now, instead of saying like they're in this situation, so let me help them. Because two, you do have people in this world that's like, soon as you help them, get them off their feet for a little bit, they go back to doing the same thing. So it's like, do they want to be helped? So it's like it's kind of double-sided in a way, because it's like because like I said, you do got some people that would help somebody here, but at the same time, it's like when you do help them, they go back and they fall into this same place that they was in already, and it's like, dang, I don't want to help that person more because I just helped them, and now I see they're doing the same thing, so it's like I helped them for no reason.
Yeah. Let me just add to that a little bit too. I think that the world is too complex to give an answer about anything. Like you just said, I could say in my mind, oh, it's the mom's fault. But that mom could have been, I don't know, harmed by this person. Like, there's so many possibilities. So everybody can come up with their answer. And honestly, like, I apologize for saying that, because now that I'm thinking about it, it's so many things that could be the reason, right? And like, even bullying. Why is somebody bullying? Because of this. It's too complex. Like, there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, you can't even know like why someone gets what they do for breakfast. Like, you can't figure out stuff like that. And I think this is like, I feel like I'm sharing a lot of my political beliefs, and this is like my third sentence on this, so maybe I should slow down. But I don't know. I feel like that's why if we don't have families protecting each other, we need something else. Oh shit, we need something else to like step in and make sure people like don't fall through the cracks.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. America, systematic. So much.
And we are not affiliated with any political organization.
I'm
This
just
is all
black.
solely opinions.
All opinionated.
No, you guys are really like smart and well spoken.
It's posse. They make us do it.
Yeah, they make us do this. We did this all summer virtually. Shout out to Posse too, man. Shout out to them.
Is that rolling?
I think so.
Yeah.
Shout out to. Let's do some shout outs real quick. Shout out to, like Adrian said, Posse 2. You're out there. If you're watching this video, subscribe.
Yes.
You're going to be on here soon. In the
Yes.
next video. So,
Shout out to
Posse
Sham. Shout out to Sham and Adric. Big mans. They are the goats. Shout out to Sham, because I'm about to do front row seats, and he's going to help me out.
Shameless plug there, but okay.
Yeah, front row seats is a collective of shows. No, I'm playing.
No, time to talk about it. Yeah.
Front Row Seats is a collective of shows that basically amplify student voices on campus. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be promoting heavily on Instagram, Front Row Seats.
Make sure you follow the Instagram at Front Row Seats.
At front Row Seats. Yeah. And follow the YouTube page. It's on my Instagram.
What do you mean like shows?
What do I mean shows? What I mean by shows is, so an example is on Color Codes, we have a little fashion thrift type thing. First episode is going to be coming out soon. We're shooting that very soon. It did die.
No.
Oh. And we have a show called Passion, which is kind of similar to this, but it's a little bit more small. It's based on people's passions. We have a speed dating thing that's going to be coming out too. We have maybe a cooking show. There's a lot of
we
stuff.
don't want to spill everything.
There's a lot of stuff.
Just stay tuned.
Just stay tuned,
prepare
absolutely.
yourself for
Keep an eye out. That's all
the
I gotta say.
content that he has to offer. But let's get back to these shout outs. Shout out to all the parents out there. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to all the parents.
For real.
Y'all did a great job, especially with these individuals who are sitting here today with us. Shout out to our cameraman too, because without that cameraman,
Exactly.
we found out that one of the cameras died and the camera shit cut off. So shout out to him too, man.
Nice. Who else we got to shout out? Who else we got to shout
You
out?
want to angle it like a tiny bit higher?
Shout out to God. I'm still here because of him.
Shout out to him too, man.
Shout out God.
Wait, is this the one that you said?
Shout out to whoever did this
For the-
Salad. Whoever created this part of Salad.
President Rowe.
Yeah.
Shout out to President Rowe.
President Rowe. Whoever made this decision to do this for
For real.
Salad, because this scenery is such a great view. It's a great spot to film the podcast.
For
And
real.
This might be our new spot here. That's the way. But that pretty much wraps up this episode today. Shout out to Temi, shout out to our cameraman for both coming on, providing us with a lot of gems, a lot of things to remember. Like we said, we already did the shout out, so shout out to all the parents out there who created us. Like, I ain't gonna lie, shout out to our parents, because they did a great job.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job for making us.
But like we always say when we wrap up a show or wrap up an episode, we always ask our guests, what are they gonna leave the viewers so that they can remember this episode by, or what do you want them to take away from this video?
Okay, all of this is a freestyle. I did not have time to think about this. Okay,
That's why we do this.
Exactly. So, I think what I want y'all to leave from this video, or take with you when you leave from this video, is that there's stages of life, right? Like we had mentioned, getting bullied. That's a stage of life. Everybody probably got bullied at some point, and it probably hurt. But as you grow up, you kind of reconcile with that. There's stages of life with your parents. Being mad at your parents when you're a teenager. Oh, why you telling me to clean my room? All this stuff. But as you grow up, you start to see the reason. You start to understand people better. So when you are in these stages of life, and it's not just going to end now. Like, none of us here can say that we know everything. We don't. So as we grow up, there's going to be things that we saw that we did now that later on we're going to be like, oh, that was dumb, or we should have done it better, or, things like that. So just keep in mind that while these things are happening, while you're going through a rough time, while you're extremely mad at somebody, while you're in pain, whatever it is, that it's all just stages of life. Like, we all have to experience all these things, and as we grow up, hopefully we'll reconcile and work on that reconciliation. Don't just, fade and just, keep it with you. You have to change. Life is about change. So, yeah, that's all. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course.
Ain't gonna
I'm glad
lie.
you could.
Finally, it's been long enough, bro. 6 episodes. No.
I couldn't have said it better, but that's it for the day. Thank you again for coming
Yes,
on.
sir.
Appreciate you for being our cameraman for the day. And that's it. Y'all know the vibes, man. We out.
Peace.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ugh, my booty sweating. Oh, I said that mad loud. My bad, y'all. Y'all didn't hear that.